That was Public Enemy's version of a real depiction of what prison life is like. Todd Lance, can you?
Yeah. Well, it's a little more graphic than that.
Okay.
So,
But that was a music video.
Exactly.
Yeah. And it was short.
And it was on point.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we definitely. But when a person is arrested, the first place he's taken to is central booking. He's fingerprinted, or she's fingerprinted. Then they're stripped and body searched. Then they might be sprayed down with light spray. You might be allowed to take a shower. Then you're handed some hand-me-downs, somebody's nasty underclothes. And for young ladies, yeah, that means you too. That means you're putting on somebody's nasty bra or old panties, and that's what they're gonna do, right? Then you're told where to go, when to sit down, when to get up, when to eat, when to move, when you can use the phone, you're gonna go to school, when you can shit, when you can do anything. And for anybody that think there's privacy, right? And we all like to, you know, go into the stall or go into the bathroom, close the door, handle our business. No, there's 30 stalls right beside each other, and you got people sitting right beside you handling business. So if you want to be stripped of your pride and stripped of your dignity, right, and stripped of your freedom, then you keep on making the foolish mistakes that you're making. This is all about uplifting each other, you know, and one of the messages today, right, because our message is from the streets to salvation. We've been in the streets since we was 11, 12, and 13 years old. If we can change our lives, so can you. Because at a young age, all we knew was streets, and we had a 25+ year run, and that's unheard of. And guess what? Our soul is still intact. We don't compromise. It's about our people. It's about uplifting each other. So don't get it mistaken. Don't trick yourself. Don't play games with yourself. This is real. It's real. You got some of your homies that call you on the phone trying to act like, yo, they down with it. No. They just don't want you to hear the real horror that's going on inside their lives. You know, they want you to think that they're strong. Oh, I'm holding it down, my dude. Yeah, my homie, I'm holding it down. Yo, could somebody send me some commissary? You know, send me some pictures. Listen, man, in jail, you're forgotten about. You're thrown away and you're forgotten about. Don't fall into the trap we fell into. And that's one thing that we want to do. We want to close that black door, that black hole that we opened. You know, because my era was responsible for it. As Todd always would say, you know, the game was there. We just took it to another level. You know,
15 million a week, that sounds like another level.
We took it to another level. And so like you see, and when we showed the clip of our trailer to the King of Kings DVD, and we saw, you know, one person describe, you know, John Gotti, you know, but even John Gotti had to answer to somebody,
right.
You know. And people always ask me, if I had to describe my life in the form of a movie, how would I describe it?
How would you describe it?
The best way I can describe it is, you know, did you see that movie Once Upon a Time in America? Right, it was about Al Pacino and De Niro and them. They all grew up from a young age, from kids, 9, 10 years old, like Kat and all of us did, and they morphed into an organization.
Did that movie influence your movement?
No, our movement was way before that movie. No. You know, people would ask us, you know, did Scarface? And no. What influenced us was movies like Superfly, Hell Up in Harlem, you know, movies like that. But so again, it's Once Upon a Time in America. You add a little bit of The Warriors. The Warriors was like sort of one of the first gang movies that was out. The Warriors, one that was out before that was The Education of Sonny Carson. But you add a little bit of Warriors, sprinkle in a little bit of New Jack City, because we were trendsetters, and add a whole lot of Sopranos, because we were organized. And that's how I would describe my life story in a movie.
Now where's Pretty Tony at?
Where's Pretty Tony
at? Home watching. What's up, Tony? Love you, my brother.
Yeah, so actually, Tony is 3 of us. I'm actually the middle. It's Tony, then me, then Todd. And so Tony's been home now 5 years. He's into real estate. He's doing good. And he got into real estate to be in conjunction with the King of Kings Foundation because he wanted to help folks with affordable housing. You know, it's a lot of our folks out there, you know, who's being, you know, deprived of a decent life or a decent living, you know, and so that's where he felt he could better fit in and help our community by helping them, you know, obtain affordable housing and apartments and things of that nature.
Will Tony actually start doing more interviews with you?
He's not really the interviewing type, but he might.
Yeah.
He might.
And there's one thing else I could appreciate about what Tony's doing. As Lance may mention, affordable housing, right? So if you got people, once again, that look like you and I, that have nowhere to live, can't afford to live somewhere, what are they gonna do? They're gonna throw a brick to obtain something that's glamorizing to them. And more than likely, as Lance may mentioned earlier, Klondike Cat always gets his mouse. So there's no way of beating the system, but we tend to take that chance because we're living in the moment. A lot of us back then didn't have tunnel vision. It was about what I could do, what I could achieve now, and I hope tomorrow will be a better day, but I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do it now. It wasn't tunnel vision. So that's one of the things, or pardon me, that's one of the seeds we try to plant in the younger generation. Where do you see yourself 5 or 10 years from now? Do you have the capabilities? Well, I'm sure you do, and don't let no one ever tell you that you don't have the capability to achieve something magnificent, because God has raised something up in you that's great. You just have to tap into it, nurture it, and just let it perform.
Yeah, so our job is sort of like planting the seed. We plant the seed, someone else waters, and God gives the increase.
Peace Up, Guns Down.
Yes.
Let's talk about that movement.
Very powerful.
Very powerful.
Very powerful.
So I was looking at a clip earlier today.
You really did your homework.
Yeah, I was looking at a clip earlier today. Thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
The NRA has endorsed Donald Trump.
That's not surprising.
Yeah, he's speaking violence in so many forms. Why wouldn't they endorse him? It's a more-time billion-dollar business. It coincides with the prison industrial complex. You have a gun, you go into jail, but you make you think you need a gun, so you're gonna get the gun regardless if you go to jail or not. Somewhere along the line, you're gonna bump heads with yourself.
And it goes in line, you know, like with new laws, because we know New York is sort of like the trendsetter. And so part of the documentary that we put together, King of Kings, we talked about, you know, the draconian drug laws, the Rockefeller drug laws, which we ultimately had abolished. You know, but they had to put something there to take the place. It's the new gun law. The new gun law is the new Rockefeller drug law. So for your first offense of carrying a gun or getting arrested with a gun, it's an automatic 8 years. Automatic.
Without a bullet in chamber.
8 years.
And that's something people need to pay attention to.
Your second offense is automatic 12 and a half years. Not, you know, no, it's 12 and a half years. And ultimately your third strike is 25.
If you had to speak to any of the officials from the NRA, what would you tell them?
Wow, I mean, that's hard to sum up in just, you know, like a quick 30 seconds, because it's so much inside of us that needs to come out to share with them about lives, not just Black lives, because don't get me wrong, we know we're pro Black Lives Matter, but all lives matter. And, you know, the NRA is so easily, you know, putting it out there that, yeah, guns don't kill people, people kill people. But you make the guns so readily available, you know what I'm saying? And our folks are the only folks that are, you know, obtaining guns illegally because we're not licensed to carry, you know, or they make sure that we pick up a felony early. So we can't get a license to carry, you know, and it takes me other places because to me, it's a form of disarming us. Because somewhere down the line, if y'all don't see it, man, I think it's a civil war coming, man, and we're going to be on the losing end.
All right, so I want to go to the chat room when the wizard cues me. So there we go. The chat room is lit.